Welcome to the Big Match Revisited, a chance to look back at the way football was televised 4 decades ago. This edition was shown at the start of May 1977, with the season drawing to a close. It's pure football nostalgia, with host and commentator Brian Moore.
Welcome. Well, this weekend, Chelsea went back to the First Division. Congratulations to them, and on the Big Match today, we can show you just how they did it. Yes, Wolves against Chelsea, as you've seen, is one of our 3 games today. We'll be seeing the goals and sharing in the celebrations. Our other 2 games have a huge bearing on events at the top and bottom of the First Division. The battle between 2 relegation sides as West Ham meet Derby County in a game balanced between tension and controversy, and also one affecting the top and bottom as Manchester City face Spurs. Plenty of goals in that little lot, and 6 of the best as we bring you the result of our Golden Goals competition of 1977. 2 trophies that have already been won, and now with a chance for you to meet the man who scored the winning goal and the viewer who got all 6 in the right order. That's a bit later on. First of all, though, we go over to West Ham for their relegation match against Derby County at Upton Park. This, then, is the West Ham lineup. Mervyn Day in goal. He passed a late fitness test. Bonds, Lampard, Pike, Tommy Taylor, McGivern, Radford, Robson, Devonshire, Brooking and Alan Taylor, with Billy Jennings the substitute. And still to get on the score sheet for West Ham since joining them for Arsenal, John Radford, though I must say his work in the air has already proved more than useful to them in the past few weeks. Derby are in happier shape this week. This is their side. Bolton, Langan, Webster, Daly, McFarland and Todd, Powell, Gemmell, Hector, Charlie George back after an absence of 6 games, Leighton James back after an absence of 2 games, and Newton is their substitute. So John Radford's old Arsenal colleague is in the enemy camp. Here he is, Charlie George, looking for the goals that will make Derby County safe. Referee today, Reg Robinson from Norwich, and a really good crowd at Upton Park today, some 32,000 strong, now waiting for the start.
So away we go then, Derby County kicking off and attacking the goal to our left in white shirts. West Ham in their claret and blue, and this nail-biting situation at the bottom of the First Division goes one further step forward. Colin Bolton here for Derby County with the ball. A sharp shower of rain about 20 minutes ago, adding another ingredient to a nail-biting afternoon, giving the surface a little bit of a slippery top. Steve Powell winning a good ball in the air for Derby County. But of course everything at the bottom of the First Division so tight and so confused that one good result can make things suddenly seem a lot happier, just as one bad one can send one into the depths of despair. West Ham, who've had a very good run, they've lost only 1 of their last 10, but this really is another critical afternoon for them. Radford winning that in the air. He's yet to score for his new club since he joined them from Arsenal. Here's McGivern just getting in, and an offside flag against Kevin Hector. So Tommy Taylor, and a kick not taken from exactly the right spot. He'll need to go back another 3 yards or so. I never really see quite what that is meant to mean when 2 or 3 yards in that position really can't make an awful lot of difference. Mervyn Day with a very sharp haircut. Devonshire's header. Radford shielding it nicely for Brooking. On again for Devonshire. McFarland's after him. Devonshire's got the cross in. And it's a goal there by Pike. Inside the first 2 minutes, West Ham have struck the way they wanted to. And Jeff Pike, the man, a young man with a happy knack of scoring important goals, has done it again. Devonshire, again, what a find he's been for West Ham. Beating McFarland to that ball to the near post, to the byline. Overcame the cross, too high for Robson, but not for Pike. Past Bolton, West Ham 1, Derby County 0. Jeff Pike, the man who's got it. And that's the 6th of the season for him. And he's only recently come into the West Ham side. Here's Todd. To Gemmell. McGivern again getting in quickly and playing the ball there. Brooking sending Taylor on his way. He's gone past McFarland again. There's a little chip. Oh, and it might come yet. Robson over the top. Brilliant play by West Ham. And Alan Taylor again showing a very clean pair of heels to Roy McFarland. What a delicate little cross there. Steve Powell got it off the line. And as it came to Brian Robson, he could only turn it back over the crossbar. Charlie George winning it in the air, Lampard getting it away. They're playing very square at the back of Derby at the moment. Brentford almost had an opportunity of getting through there, and there was no cover whatsoever for McFarland. Out of play. In fact, it's a free kick. Hector coming quickly off Lampard. Powell. 10 minutes gone, West Ham leading 1-0. And Todd playing a long ball towards Charlie George. Oh, and a good save there by Dave from Leighton James. Tommy Taylor's header not getting a lot of distance. And James on it like a thunderbolt, right foot. And a good save down by the post by Mervyn Day. Alan Taylor's right up there. Brookings made a run through the middle. And Devonshire, the idea was exactly right. Unfortunately, his passing was a little bit off. Trying to curl that beyond the last line of defence for Brooking to get in on it. Langan now for Derby. Lampard. Daly stopped by Devonshire. Free kick. Foul by Tommy Taylor on Charlie George. And the free kick quickly taken. Archie Gemmell right on it. Oh, and he missed a kick when he seemed to be right through. Well, that was a remarkably quickly taken free kick by Derby, and it very nearly caught West Ham out. Archie Gemmell going right through there, and it looked as though it was going to be a simple job putting it past Day, but he slipped and the chance went with it. Pushing the back by Bonds on Hector, free kick to Derby. Dangerous position for West Ham. So Charlie George on the far side, Steve Powell's there, Jerry Daly, Roy McFarland's there, Leighton James is there. And they've pushed a lot forward. Archie Gemmell now picking out his target. And Mervyn Day coming and gathering the ball well. Chase that, he says to Alan Taylor. And Colin Todd, looking around him all the time, says, well, I know I can get there first. Steve Powell again, Jerry Daly. There's Langan. Out of play. Derby throw. Todd for Derby. Here's McGibbon. And now here's Radford versus McFarland again. And Radford determined to shield it that time. And his little chip finding Trevor Brooking. No foul. And that's a good decision by the ref. That was shoulder against shoulder. And if you take that out of the game, you might as well forget about playing it. Good decision by the ref, in spite with respect to what the rest of the crowd may say. Daly now for Derby. Well, John Webster coming up here. Alan Taylor right back there to make sure he doesn't make too much progress. Here's McGibbon. That's not a bad looking ball there to Pike. A little touch there for Robson, who didn't quite react to it quickly enough. Look at McFarland getting in there again. Gemmell versus Pike. Two West Ham youngsters there now as Devonshire takes it up. A touch for Billy Bonds, and away go West Ham surging forward once more. Devonshire taking up the momentum of it. Past Gemmell. Now can he get the cross in? Radford on the far side. Not it down there for Pike again. Just over. Good move. John Radford, who's yet to score for West Ham since he came from Arsenal, is doing a tremendous amount of good work, and that was a lovely nod down there by him from that long cross. Unfortunately for West Ham, Pike had to take it quickly, and over it went. Everybody else is worrying about John Radford not scoring, except John Radford. Robson. Bonds. Good jump there by Webster. Here's Charlie George, the little touch off for Daly. Derby coming forward through the midfield again. Langham, the fullback, linking up. Hector, been very muted in this first half. Gemmell into the path of Todd. Derby again have got a lot forward, and this time they've got a free kick. As Leighton James is brought down by Tommy Taylor. A free kick to Derby. 90 seconds from half-time. And it could hardly be in a more critical position. Alan Taylor went to have a quick word with Mervyn Day about something there. Gary Daly, the dead-eyed kicker from dead ball situations, Daly. And West Ham with plenty in that wall. Leighton James curling it. And it's into the back of the net. Well, it hit the stanchion and it was hard for the crowd to understand it, but Leighton James has curved that ball into the West Ham net. Round the side of the wall. It hit the stanchion of the back. That's what fooled everybody. And that makes it 1-1. West Ham 1, Derby County 1. The boos are for the referee. But the man who scored it is Leighton James, back after a two-match layoff with an ankle injury. The crowd were angry with the referee, who denied West Ham a free kick a moment earlier when Trevor Brooking was hustled off the ball, although I thought that was a fair decision. And they didn't like it when he gave Derby a free kick just outside the West Ham penalty area, although yet again, I think that was the right decision. Here's Brooking. Devonshire. Well, he's allowed to go a long way. Pike with a shot charged down by McFarland. We're in injury time at the end of the first half. Still, the boos are echoing around Upton Park, aimed mainly at the referee. But then referees never can win. I happen to think he was right on both occasions. Now, this referee. Leighton James getting some boos as well, though what he could do about it, I don't know. He was brought down and that was it. The whistle goes for half-time in a certain amount of confusion there. A few boos for Reg Robinson. Billy Bonds having a word with the referee and linesman there about that free kick incident just before. Billy Bonds saying it was a dive there by Leighton James. Here's the man who is alleged to have dived, but he's certainly the man who scored from that free kick to bring Derby County level right on half-time, after Jeff Pike had scored for West Ham right at the start. So a fairly unpleasant end to a first half that's been full of incident. And the referee, in fact, being escorted off there, you can see, by policemen, just in case anything untoward should happen. And the crowd, in fact, are giving the referee quite a roasting as he goes in, as you can see. But again, I could only emphasize, I think, both in the situation with the West Ham free kick he was right, and in the Derby County free kick he was right. So half-time score, and a lot more to come today. West Ham 1, Derby County 1. We'll be right back with that second half. Welcome back then to Upton Park. Still a few boos about the place, and I think we're going to have a very hectic 45 minutes now. The score at 1-1 in this desperate relegation battle. Oh, and here's Devonshire. Now, West Ham going to start the second half just as they did the first. No, because Webster was again in there for Derby. Well, it'll be a test of this referee's character as well, as to whether or not he's put off by the howling that's coming around the ground aimed at his head. Derby away. Charlie George. Here's Billy Bonds. Brooking. Oh, what a nice touch by Brooking now for Alan Taylor. There's a good cross by him, and pushed behind by Bolton. He's flinging in some superb crosses, Alan Taylor, and he gets them in so early as well, before a defence can really organise themselves. That time just a little too close, if anything, to the goalkeeper, and he was able to turn that over. So a corner for West Ham. Trevor Brooking will take it. Billy Bonds right in there. In fact, it's Bonds' header, and it's skated across there for David Macken to find Jerry Daly for Derby. West Ham's throw. Billy Bonds sprung a few forward again. Brooking trying to get something there. Bonds knocking it in again. Radford's right there. Devonshire lined up the shot but waited too long, and Steve Powell was there again for Derby. And a throw for West Ham. Here's Brooking. Back again for Devonshire. All played here for Pike. Hit there well. Oh, and he hit the post. How unlucky can you get? What a brilliant shot there by Jeff Pike. Played square for him beautifully. And hit it beautifully too. Wide of the diving Bolton, but off the post. So West Ham's corner, Brooking with it. Curled in once more. And over the top. Colin Murphy on the left, the Derby County manager, who's really had a pressure-filled second half of the season. West Ham's throw. Billy Bonds with it. McFarland chasing Radford all over the place, and Radford ironically clapping the decision to give him a free kick. I think he feels he's taken quite a buffeting from Derby's England international during the course of this game. Well, he's got a free kick now. Brooking with the free kick. Curl a little bit behind the strikers that time, but nonetheless struck well and saved well. Good shot there by Lampard, and it looked for one moment as though it might creep in until Colin Bolton was down on it. Great shot all on the ground there by Lampard. And some fine work there by Colin Bolton. Macken away. Daly, Hector. Here's Devonshire again. Played short to McGibbon. One of those massive kicks by Mervyn Day. Will it catch Derby out? Well, Radford's there, Brooking's there. Oh, and another great save. Now, can Taylor turn it back? They are destined not to get one this afternoon, West Ham. A tremendous shot. In fact, it's the old ploy that West Ham use from time to time. The long clearance by Mervyn Day. Derby instantly under pressure. The ball falling to Brooking. Hit it, in fact, knee-high. And Colin Bolton down well, pushing it away. And Alan Taylor couldn't get it back. Gemmell for Derby. Only Charlie George is up, though. Gemmell did well there, kept position long enough for other people to come up and support him. And here's Leighton James. And Macken, what a good piece of running by him, taking up a good position, and James found him well. A long cross and a bad one. Well, he did so much that was very good. And not least in that movement, the pass of Leighton James that picked up David Langan. Pike for West Ham. Robson. Played into the path of Brooking. Taken on well by Brooking. Crossed there. Oh, and it was just a fraction too high for Taylor. What an agonizing moment for West Ham. Brooking getting past his man, and he couldn't quite control it to get the shot in, but then thought well and nicked it there, and it was just too high for Alan Taylor. Here's Brooking again. Well, it's one of those chances that could settle this whole thing. And although Derby, to be honest, don't look like capitulating, and in fact look quite dangerous on their breaks, it's West Ham in the second half who've made those one or two chances that just haven't come their way, that they haven't been able to finish off. Gemmell, Langan, Todd playing with a lot of composure and a lot of style, Derby. And here's Gemmell. Oh, this could be dangerous now for West Ham. Gemmell putting it across, and it's into the goal. Put there by McGibbon, and that puts Derby into the lead. Well, what a tragedy there for Mick McGibbon. Archie Gemmell, well, he looks as though he's almost in tears, and I think that's probably how he feels. What a cruel twist of fate that was for Mick McGibbon, such a sturdy defender. And as Gemmell took that ball down to the byline, hit it back, difficult always for defenders. And Mick McGibbon, it came off him, I think probably through the legs of Mervyn Day, and into the back of the net. West Ham 1, Derby County 2. Well, an afternoon that started so brilliantly for West Ham with that goal in 90 seconds has got a pretty gloomy look about it at this moment. Lampard with the cross. Todd with the header away. Pike with a shot too high. Goal kick. Well, Billy Jennings, who in fact was the second top scorer for West Ham, he's got 8 this season. It's Mick McGibbon, it's the number 6 going on. Well, an unhappy Mick McGibbon going up there. It's his own goal, and I think it has to go down as an own goal that has put Derby into the lead. Pike getting in there. The Derby defence just for a moment dithered there, and they haven't done much of that today. Devonshire's header. Billy Bonds getting in there. Robson touching it down again for Radford. Robson turning it off this time for Brooking. Shot charged down by Ron Webster. Here's Devonshire again. Derby have pulled a lot back now. Bonds turning it in once more. Robson right in there. Billy Jennings is there, and Jennings has equalised. 2-2. Substitution certainly worked. A goal with just under 5 minutes left that West Ham desperately wanted. The ball bobbling around there for quite a while until Billy Jennings found himself free and hit it really on the volley into the net beyond Bolton. West Ham 2, Derby County 2. And the trick certainly worked for West Ham with Billy Jennings coming on as a substitute, and within 2 minutes of coming on, getting the equaliser. Now we're going to get a really stylish finish now. Derby, I imagine, would be happy to settle for the point away from home with 2 home games to come. West Ham must go searching now for this second point. Pike. On for Brooking. Todd had the power to get out of trouble there. Langan had to go a long, long way and played a good ball in for Charlie George, and a brilliant piece of defence there by Billy Bonds. Mervyn Day was applauding his skipper there because Charlie George suddenly went into overdrive and took that pass from Langan so well, and just as he hit it, so too did Billy Bonds, and it went behind. Well, is it going to be a last throw for Derby County? Macken. Powell hitting it in there. Roy McFarlane's right in there. Could be, but it isn't. So a goal kick for West Ham. And the game stays balanced to the very last second. Mervyn Day with the kick for West Ham. That's the final whistle. It's a point apiece when both of them really came and wanted to. And Billy Jennings was the man who made sure at least that West Ham got one with that goal soon after coming on as a substitute when it seemed that West Ham might be denied anything at all. Jeff Pike having scored for them so early in the game, and then Derby County going level first of all with Leighton James's free kick, and then ahead with the unfortunate own goal by Mick McGibbon. And then, as I say, Billy Jennings getting that vital lifesaver for West Ham. Colin Bolton, 2 tremendous saves in the second half, and a great slice of luck when Jeff Pike's shot hit the post. So the two goalkeepers shaking hands as they go up the tunnel. And a final scoreline then at Upton Park, with the police very much in evidence there. West Ham 2, Derby County 2.
Well, at this stage of the season, alas, that must be regarded as a point lost for West Ham, which, of course, they've now got to make up by taking one at Liverpool next Saturday. That's far from easy, of course, with the home game against Manchester United to follow that one. It's amazing to think, really, that West Ham have been beaten only once in their last 11 games, and yet they still find themselves in a bit of a mess at the bottom. And it would have been worse but for Billy Jennings' goal. And he, along with Tommy Taylor, Kevin Locke, Keith Coleman and Keith Robson, have been put on the available to transfer list now, so there's quite a clear-out at the end of the season at West Ham. But what about that controversial free kick just before half-time that gave Derby County the chance of an equaliser? And indeed, the decision just before it not to give West Ham a free kick that was also controversial. This was the first incident, Powell and Brooking going for the ball. I can only think that the referee felt that that was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. He could have given a drop ball, of course, but I think he was right not to give West Ham a free kick there. But unfortunately for him, the ball goes to the other end of the field and he has to make another decision, which is a bit controversial, as Todd plays it through. Now, does Tommy Taylor take Leighton James' legs there? I think James makes a bit of a meal of it, but I think Taylor has trapped his right foot there, James's right foot there. And again, I think the referee, hard though it is for West Ham fans to swallow it, again, I think the referee was right. I think Reg Robinson had a fairly patchy old game, particularly in the second half, when in point of fact he gave absolutely nothing to Derby County, it seemed. But he gave them that free kick, and from that free kick they scored a really excellent goal that is well worth looking at from our camera behind the goal, because there are a couple of points to be picked out. Mervyn Day told me afterwards that he hadn't heard the whistle and wondered whether the referee in fact had whistled or signalled for the kick to be taken. But you can see the referee in the centre of the picture there now, whistle in his mouth. But now watch Kevin Hector, the white shirt on the left of the wall, as Leighton James takes that kick. Hector moves out, the ball goes precisely into that gap, and in spite of a tremendous leap there by Mervyn Day, he just gets a hand to it, but it goes and hits the stanchion at the back of the goal. A really superbly taken free kick by Derby County that took them on the way to that point at Upton Park yesterday. A couple of other points, I think, before we leave the game. I spoke with Leighton James afterwards. It seems he was slightly jostled by a spectator after the final whistle, though in Leighton's own words, he sort of put an arm round me. At any rate, the intruder was hustled away by police, and I should add that Leighton James was asked if he wanted to prefer any charges. He said that he didn't. Let's forget about that incident. He said a point was good enough for me. Secondly, not forgetting John Radford. He's got a testimonial match on Tuesday night at his old club Arsenal, when Arsenal take on the crack Yugoslav side Hajduk Split, with Charlie George and Frank McClintock making guest appearances for Arsenal. John Radford's match Tuesday night at Highbury. Our second match today, and it's Tottenham's fight for survival as a First Division club. Though I must say their chances have been nothing more than slender these past couple of weeks. Yesterday they visited Manchester City, themselves, of course, still with a lingering hope or two of pipping Liverpool for the Championship. So here we go then, the battle between the top and the bottom. Manchester City against Spurs, pictures by Granada Television. Commentator Gerald Sinstadt, Spurs in the all-yellow strip.
And Osgood missed his kick. Royal has gone round him and pulled it back well for Barnes. And off Jennings' legs, and the Irishman knew very little about that. Joe Royal took full advantage of the stumble, hit the cross at once, and Peter Barnes turned it well, and Jennings was lucky. Pratt. Easy for Watson. Stewart. Hartford couldn't take it, it hit Perryman. Stewart to Barnes. Nice, precise pass. Barnes attacking Naylor. It's a corner. Peter Barnes has always shown the pace to trouble most fullbacks, and since he's come back into the side has shown also some of the aggression that Manchester City have asked of him. Swinging out towards Booth's head. 1-0! Couldn't ask for a better corner than that. Couldn't ask for a better header than the one with which Tommy Booth met it. But maybe Spurs could ask, where was the man who should have been going up with it? Hoddle's header, Pratt forward. Header by Watson. Coates. Pratt. Missed it altogether that time, but it's come through to Hoddle, and his flick was only just wide. Cross went over then. Pratt missed it altogether, and then there was a deflection into the path of Glenn Hoddle, and he almost turned that bit of luck into a goal. Barnes. That could fall for Stewart. What a beautifully taken goal. Peter Barnes did well, needed his courage to get the header, but he saw Stewart coming and put the ball perfectly in his path, and Dennis Stewart flashed it past Jennings for his 17th goal of the season. Coates, followed by Booth, away by Donachie to Barnes, Perryman, Owen, Donachie. Hartford finds Tommy Booth. Booth's pass knocked on by Owen, chased by Barnes. Now can he finish this one? Oh yes! Oh, what a beauty! Oh, that was so well done. To help it on to Barnes, and Barnes that time kept his head, lost his man, and he sold Pat Jennings a dummy out of the record books, and then just chucked it over his head for a blissful goal. Barnes again, getting it back from Hartford. Donachie up the line ahead of him, Coates blocking the route to goal. Coates trips him, free kick to Manchester City. Barnes takes the free kick himself. Corner to Manchester City. Tottenham also about to make a substitution with Ian Moores warming up. Barnes. And Hartford! 4-0, and this is turning into a run. The corner came over, was headed firmly away, but straight to the right foot of Asa Hartford, and back it went before Jennings could move. Naylor. Jones again. Stopped by Watson. The referee is now tangled with Asa Hartford. All accidental, smiles all round. Referee starting with a throw-in taken by Hoddle. Kidd. Owen. Ran away off his shins. Stewart now. And he's got Kidd unmarked inside him, and Osgood in two minds. Kidd, 5-0. A bad back pass that let Stewart in, but then it always looked a likely goal as they set off from 10 yards inside the Spurs half. Stewart down the right, Kidd through the middle, and Osgood not certain which way to go. Kidd took the pass from Stewart and took his time, put it past Jennings without any trouble at all.
Well, of course, another shattering day for Tottenham, and they do seem to be almost certainly doomed to the second division now. But now we come to the result of our Golden Goals competition of 1977. And these past 2 weeks, we've shown you our top 6 goals. And through the coupons in the Evening Standard and the Evening News, and indeed by postcard as well, you've been voting in your thousands. We come now to the final order of merit, judged for us by Malcolm MacDonald, top scorer in the First Division, somebody who knows plenty about scoring goals, and Crystal Palace manager Terry Venables, whose team has been hitting the net plenty of times themselves in recent weeks. They came into our studios, and I can tell you they deliberated for a good long time to get the order absolutely right, with a word or two chipped in by Vic Railton of the Evening News and Michael Hart of the Evening Standard also. In the end, they came up with this order. I wonder whether you'll agree with it. And I'll give it to you from the sixth best down to the absolute winner. The sixth best goal was goal D, scored by Kenny Stroud of Swindon in the Cup against Everton.
Moss. Sirrett's little flick. Stroud. What a good shot! Oh, what a tremendous goal! What a tremendous goal by Kenny Stroud!
The fifth best was goal C, scored by Paul Mariner for Ipswich Town in a First Division game against West Bromwich Albion.
Forward goes Mills. Giles takes it off him, but Walker's in there hard. Wymark and Mariner waiting for help. Mariner on his own. Oh, what a goal!
The fourth best goal was goal F, scored by Ronnie Goodless for Everton, and this came in a game against West Ham at Upton Park.
Devonshire. Oh, he didn't quite clear Latchford. And now a good run now for Goodless. Oh, when he's seen... Oh, and he's a goal! What brilliant thinking there by Ronnie Goodless!
The third best was goal E, scored by Alan Taylor for West Ham United. This came in a First Division game against Arsenal at Highbury.
Taylor. Nice turn. The pass to Jennings. The touch for Brookie. Tulakowski has come up quickly on this side. Here he is. Lampard's gone up as well to join him. That's the ball aimed for Frank Lampard. Armstrong shrugged off that ball by Lampard. Good chance! Oh, and a brilliant goal! A brilliant West Ham goal by Alan Taylor.
Down to the second best, and it's goal A, scored by Rodney Marsh for Fulham against Hereford United at Craven Cottage.
Now it's John Evanson for Fulham. Played inside for Marsh. Looking around, seeing who he can pick up. Decides to go one in. Oh, my goodness, what a goal! Oh, what a tremendous goal by Marsh!
Which brings us to the winner of our Golden Goals competition of 1977, and what a brilliant goal it was, scored by Derek Hales, then of Charlton, against Hull City down at the Valley.
Colin Powell for Charlton. To Hales. A little touch for Hunt. Powell again. Long raking stride. Warman. Powell has continued his run. And Warman couldn't quite pick him up, but now he has. Well, he's gone past him. And he's got a good cross in. Oh, what a goal! Hales again!
And here is the man who scored that winner, now without his beard, Derek Hales, then of Charlton, now, of course, of Derby County. And indeed, we thought it was only right to pay tribute to the man who did so much to make it possible, Charlton's Colin Powell, who made that wonderful run from one end of the field to the other. Derek, you've scored so many tremendous goals, particularly in your career at Charlton. Would that be regarded by you as one of your best?
Well, it was a good goal, but I scored a few, but that went from one end to the other. It was a good move, and went in okay, didn't it?
It certainly did. What did you think about it, Colin?
Yeah, you know, when Derek first scored it, I didn't realise it did go from one end to the other, but you know, he puts them away like that.
Yeah. In fact, we didn't until we looked at it on that Sunday morning, I remember, and we thought, my goodness, in fact, I mean, Derek had a touch right back in, well inside his own half after you played your first go.
It's the first time he's been in our half, I think.
First time he's been in your half, yeah. Goal poacher. But in fact, since you went from Charlton, it really is, the season's gone a little bit south for you, Derek. You've got this injury at the moment. What is it, an ankle?
Yeah, I've got an ankle hurt at the minute, and I've forgotten the last time I scored. That might have been my last goal, that one.
No, in fact, you got 6 at Derby, haven't you? Yeah. But you won't play again this season, will you?
Very doubtful. I would say at the moment, anyway.
Yeah. But you're moving into a new house in Derby.
Yeah. We move tomorrow.
Yeah. Does that mean things have settled down a little bit for you now?
Well, I think it'll take perhaps a little while yet, but I'm looking forward to next season, really. Like, I've been in a hotel for 5 months, and hasn't been the best of places to stay. Yeah. But I'm hoping things will work out well for us.
Has it been a problem for you justifying, what, over £300,000?
Well, I've said all along, well, the money doesn't really affect me. You know, I didn't ask them to pay it, but they bought me to score goals, and I haven't really scored many. But I don't think I've had many chances. I think I've got 6 and had about 8 chances or something like that.
Yeah. So
but I'm going to kidnap this fellow when I go.
In fact, it's in a strange way. I mean, you obviously have to miss a player of Derek's capabilities, Colin, but in fact Charlton have played very well, if I may say so, without him, in a different sort of way, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got a new goal-scoring machine now. Mick Flanagan, you know, he knocks them in.
Yeah.
Great as well. You know, we haven't really had to change our style at all since Derek went, which I thought we'd probably have to when he first went.
Yeah.
But everything's going fine.
And in fact, it hasn't been a bad season. I mean, you're a good side to watch always, aren't you?
Yeah,
you
very
like to attack.
entertaining. We're 4 points short, really, of being up there amongst them.
Can you see the basis of a side that could win promotion next year?
I think so, Brian. Yeah, we've got 11 draws away from home, I think, which I'd say 5 or 6 of them we could have won, and plus we've been beaten twice at home. I think we've got a great chance next season.
Good. Let's hope it happens that way. We've got to meet now the fella who chose them in the right order, the big match viewer. He got the goals correct. His name is John Jordan. He comes from South East London. Before we have a word with you, John, let's just recap on that right order, which we've got here. There we are. The winner, goal B, Derek Hales. Then goal A, Rodney Marsh. Goal E, Alan Taylor. Goal F, Ronnie Goodless. Goal C, Paul Mariner. Goal D, Kenny Stroud. And to prove that he got him in the right order, this is the coupon that John sent in. And you'll see that he's got them in the right order. From Thamesmead, London, SE2. But that's Charlton territory, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
Do you ever go and watch these fellas play?
Well, I have to work on a Saturday, but when I get a Saturday off, I usually go down and watch Colin and the lads play.
Yeah. Are you a Charlton supporter?
No, an Arsenal supporter.
Arsenal?
But I don't usually get enough time to go down there.
No. And Malcolm MacDonald, in fact, chose the... I mean, did you sort of read Malcolm's mind in any way?
Well, I thought the panel would have liked that kind of goal, or otherwise it would have been Rodney Marsh first, I should think.
Yes.
But it was a good goal.
I think a lot of people will be surprised that Kenny Stroud's finished 6th. I mean, that was such a tremendous thunderbolt shot against Everton for Swindon, wasn't it?
Yeah, well I guess the last 2, I can't really say why I put that last.
But you plumped for Derek's goal as
well, it was
the
a great build-up, started
Yes.
by Colin,
Yeah.
and you finished it.
Do you play yourself?
Yeah, on a Sunday.
Yeah?
For local side.
You're not a goal scorer, are you?
No, play full back.
Full-back. I tell you what, well done, John. Congratulations to you. Now, Derek, I'm sure, will be delighted to hand you your little trophy. Very well done.
Well done, mate.
Right. Not a bad judge. And Derek, I've got great pleasure in giving you the Golden Goals trophy.
Thanks
of
very much,
1977, and I hope your luck changes a hell of a lot at the start of next season.
Thanks very much.
And the goals start coming back again. And in fact, there's a Video Master, one of those lovely machines that allow you to play various sports on your own television screens that goes to all 3 of you, to Derek Hales, to Colin Powell, and to John Jordan as well. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you very much for coming in today. Finally, Chelsea, and it's Eddie McCready's team that has at last given London something to smile about this season. Yesterday they went to Wolverhampton, already themselves sure of promotion, needing just 1 point to join the Wolves. See how that one went now through the cameras of ATV with commentator Hugh Johns. Chelsea are in the blue shirts.
And kick out. Didn't work then for Sunderland. Lock feeding Britain. Lewiston. Could be trouble here. Lewiston went right through patching. Now Wilkins. Looking for Langley. And he's got it. And he scored. That goal against Wolves. Triumph, of course, for Tommy Langley. 15 minutes into the game. The travelling Chelsea supporters rise to their feet. Tommy Langley's second goal of the season. There'll be an inquest in the Wolves dressing room about that. Nice ball from Wilkins. It looked as though Palmer should have cut it out. He missed it. Langley went on. Pearce had his near post covered, but still the ball goes past him. Hibbett picks up Sunderland. Wicks at his back. And Hibbett crosses it in. Knocked away by Locke. of it for Sunderland. Good try. What a snapshot. What a beauty that would have been. The first goal he ever scored in his career was against Chelsea in a 1-0 win some 4.5 years ago. That would have been an even better one. Picking up the throw-in, turning swiftly, and just hammering the left foot just wide of the top left-hand corner. Berry got half a touch the wrong way. Palmer helped it up. Cook down. Sparrow. Good challenge by Richards. Palmer. Park in. No lock. No, he leaves it for Harris. Finiston. Lewington. Britton. Chelsea working their moves together neatly now. Cook. Wilkins. That's Britton. Oh, well saved finally by Monroe. What a brilliant little move that was by Chelsea. All started off, in fact, by Britton. And then when Butch Wilkins joined in and set that reverse pass inside the Wolves' defence. Gary Pearce off his line. Britton very nearly got it in. Pivot. Fierce challenge by Lewington. Richards. It's cross for Patching. Sunderland trying to get a turn in and a shot. Very, very well done indeed. It's the strike power that Wolves have got to the top of the table on. Didn't work for them then. Little knocked down by Patching. Sunderland very sharply swiveled from the hips, turned and drove a dramatic shot, but wide and high again. So less than 15 minutes to go. Wolves looking very ragged, being beaten 1-0 here by Chelsea. There's Daly. Richards trying to get it back into the goal, and Lewington helps it away for a throw-in only. Comes off Sparrow for a corner, though the fans behind the goal reckon that Sparrow put that away with his hand. Pivot. Richards gets it down, and the shot from Monroe, and the goal from John Richards. And that has wrapped it up at 1-1. Wolves supporters at last have something to cheer about. John Richards, in the 33rd minute of the second half, scores his 20th goal of the season. The corner swinging in. Monroe drove a dramatic shot. Bonetti kicked it away with his legs. And Richards drove it high into the net. Daly now. Referee Don Biddle's bound to accept the signal of the crowd almost any second now. Again, he has a look at his watch. And there it is. It's all over. 1-1 the score. A goal by Langley. A goal by Richards. Chelsea go back into the First Division. Wolverhampton Wanderers are champions. Justice is done. John Richards there, being totally mobbed by Wolves supporters. The man who got them the championship with his 20th goal of the season. And somewhere lost down there is Tommy Langley, the Chelsea striker, whose goal this afternoon made sure that Chelsea go back into the First Division as well. Chanting fans of both persuasions around as Sammy Chung leads his team away down into the dressing rooms, where certainly very soon the champagne corks will be popping. I should think in both dressing rooms, but more particularly in the dressing room of Wolverhampton Wanderers, champions of the Second Division.
Yes, Wolves champions, Chelsea up, everybody happy. That's it then. Don't forget, the next football on ITV Wednesday night. from Amsterdam, the European Cup Winners' Cup final between Anderlecht and Hamburg, and that should be a great game. 10:30 Wednesday. Certainly it's been a great weekend for Chelsea, a chance to reduce their enormous debts with some First Division football, and we hope the crowds to match it, and a chance to get back to the big time with Tommy Langley's goal and how the players enjoyed those celebrations afterwards.
Wilkins looking for Langley, and he's got it, and he scored! That goal against Wolves, triumph!